How's it? Today we are gonna learn Adobe Premiere. We've learned a lot of other Adobe products, and so Premiere is definitely a good one for video. Actually, we are using Mac. When I worked at the TV studio, we were using Adobe. Sorry, not Adobe. Final Cut Pro, and Final Cut Pro is like, to me, it's the best. Like, that's what people use in Hollywood and other studios. And so, but for our lab, we don't have Final Cut. But if you ever have the chance of getting it, I highly recommend it. Premiere, that's very similar. So I'll be showing you a little bit today as best I can. I got my Kleenex box here because I'm a little under the weather. So we'll see if I can make it. Now the good thing about knowing Premiere is that, well, since you already know iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, and you know Photoshop, it's kind of like taking all those things and combining to Premiere, and you got a cool little program. So let's go ahead and open up Premiere. So go ahead and open up Premiere. And again, Premiere is for PC or Mac. You can also get a free 30-day trial if you go to the website. So you want to check it out. Now, first of all, we're editing our music video. So what I want you to do is, with your USB, okay, create a new file or folder in your USB, and I'm going to call that MV and then Mr. Heil. So MV and then your name. You want to make sure that you're very organized when you have your structure and files, because it can get lost. Now, another beauty of Premiere is that we can move Premiere to another computer and work on it on another computer. But the key is, and this is a huge key, if you have your video files on your desktop and in your, let's say, Premiere file, software file on your USB, you know they're linked. Once you take out your USB, that link is broken, and so it no longer works. That media will stay offline, and so that's why. So you want to make sure that everything is in the same location and it doesn't get moved. So that's why we put everything organized in a nice little folder like this. So in this folder, I'm going to call this, I'm going to put this audio, because we're going to put some audio clips in here. Ha ha ha, I am sick. And then we're going to put clips, or you could call that footage, up to you. Okay, and so we're going to start with that. Now what you're going to do is find your video clips that you're going to use and put them in there. Okay, so I'm going to use Mr. Potato, one of my students' songs from last year, and put that in your folder that you just made, and then put that in the audio folder. Okay, so go ahead and put your MP3. This is like the song that you made in GarageBand, and then go ahead and for your clips, go ahead and get this audio. Command Shift New, and so this is gonna be your footage, and so this is the video file. So remember, in iMovie, you may have like arranged and decided what clips you wanted to keep, and then you export it out as one file. Well, that one file is what you're going to be importing right here into this folder. If you didn't do that, you can basically just input or move all of your footage into this folder right here. Okay, so you should be doing that now. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So if you open up Premiere, you're going to hit New Project, okay? And now we got this stuff right here. Okay, it's going to be in a QuickTime format. First of all, location at the bottom here. You're going to click on location, and you're going to choose Browse for location. And you're going to choose the place on your USB. So click on USB, and then choose your MV Mr. Heil, and then there we go. That's where I want it to be saved, because that way it's all under one location with video and audio clips. So they're all together and they all can have one big party. Name, I'm going to name it the same, MV Mr. Heil. Okay, and then we're pretty much done. Scratch disk is where like files will be saved that you create in Premiere. So we're going to leave that as default because look, it's all on the USB, so we're good to go. So we're just going to leave that and we're going to hit OK because everything is okay. That is if you're not sick. In my case, it's not okay. Now, don't use standard. Standard is like the old school TV size. We're in the new digital age and we're widescreen, especially if we're uploading it to YouTube. So choose widescreen. What does KHZ stand for? It stands for kilohertz. Kilohertz is what type of file? Audio. So we're staying a widescreen for the video, and this is a higher grade audio than 32. So we're going to choose that. Sequence. Sequence is like the timeline. We're going to have sequence 1. That's fine. I'm going to hit OK. And we watch the pinwheel go. And there we go. So now we're ready to start. Let me give you a quick tour of the place. Starting with our left side, we have our bin. Okay, just like in iMovie, you notice here on the top, I switched it. This is where your footage is, and then this is where your actual video is. Okay, so this bin stuff up here, you know, with your events in Premiere, that's over here. Okay, kind of in the same place. And then to find our stuff, you can find it in here, like our media files. Now, if you don't have if yours doesn't look like this, it looks a little weird, you can go up to Window, Workspace, and then choose like editing or audio. If you're only working with audio, you can do one more for audio. Or if you can do one more for color correction. But right now we're doing editing, so you can do that. This also works with Premiere or Photoshop and Illustrator. If things don't look exactly the way things should, just go up to Window, Workspace. All right, so now we're going to go get our media files. So we're going to go to down here, USB. There it is, MV Mr. Heil. And I'm going to get my footage first. Okay, click on footage and bam, there it is, Mr. Potato. So I'm going to click on that footage and drag it up into my sequence. This is like my bin. And I'm also going to go grab my audio right here, MP3, and drag that into the bin. So right now I have a video file and an MP3 file. If I want to be really organized, I can create a bin folder right here. Okay, and I can call this like footage. And then all the footage that I import, I can import into that folder. And then I can also make a new one called audio. And I can put that one in here. Just like in iMovie, that's like these events. Like placing them into different events so I'm organized. Like if I wanted different clips here, there's different clips. Or I could do clips from here and there's different clips. Alright, so that's an example of the similarities. You can also color coordinate them as well. Okay, so first of all, for your music video, you're going to start with your MP3. Okay, that's really important because you're going to have the same MP3 like audio going no matter what video is going on at the time. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a little bit about the video. Go ahead and double click on a video clip that's in your bin. And we're going to focus on this a little bit. This is called a preview, okay? And when I say I scrubbed through something, okay, I'm not talking about the TV show. I'm talking about trying to move the mouse through your footage, okay? Like previewing it. Trying to find the clips that you want to use, okay? So notice I'm scrubbing right here through the footage, trying to find what I want. So remember I said his intro is a little bit too long, okay? So let's say I want to cut straight to the action of him spinning his Mr. Potato. Let me find that. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to start here. So, if I want this clip, you see this little bracket? I'm going to hit that it's called in. Set the in point. That's my in. And then I'm gonna scrub out, and then I want to stop it there. And I'm gonna do my out point. Now the shortcuts is I and then O for out if I just want to use a keyboard. So after I do my ins and outs, what I can do is, see here, I can click and drag the video only or the audio only. If I want to do both, I just click here and drag it down to my footage. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to drag this footage down, or you can also insert it. Right here it says insert it. If I click on that, it'll automatically insert it into my footage. Now if you're not sure yet what kind of footage you want to use, you can preview it. Like you can preview this clip by hitting the play button. Now if it's a shorter clip and you want to like replay it over and over and over just so you can see it and you want to be really meticulous, you hit loop right here. So we'll hit loop and then hit play. So notice it's looping back and forth so you can get exactly what you want. Now if I was doing a slideshow to this music and I wanted to like, actually I'm going to go back to that thought in a minute. So we got that part. Now let's try to get another part. Oh yeah, there's... Alright, let's get him running out. Okay, so I on the keyboard and scrubbing in, and there he's out. So I'm going to hit O for out. And then to insert it, I'm just going to hit that to insert it in. So now you'll see two clips like this, okay, down here at the video. Now, what I want to do is you can scrub through it on the timeline. Oh, there's the pinwheel of death. Oh, how many of you guys get nightmares of that thing? So I can scrub through, and on the right side is what it would look like on a screen, like my final. Okay? Now, if you notice, the video is square. So when he exported this out from iMovie, it was in a square form. So that's not very good when our clips are widescreen like this. So you have a couple options. You can click, put it in the corner and drag it, and then hold on to Shift key and then make it bigger and try to center it. But you're still not going to get it exactly right. So you have a couple options. Screenshot, there it is. So I place it in my USB. I put the image here, and I'm going to put the image on a new layer like this. Now notice that it's on top of the video. That's because just like in Photoshop layers, notice it's above it, the video one. So actually I'm going to swap the two. I'm going to take video one and put it there. And now I'm going to take the screenshot that I imported and I'm going to put that underneath it. Okay. There we go. And it's right there. So notice it's kind of pixelated, but if I can make it bigger. You know, something like this with my video like on it. And by the way, when I import it, you don't have to import just an image. You can import actually a Photoshop file with layers and it will keep your layers. And that way you can edit better.